Crapgamer Reviews is a Microsoft fanboy channel and corporate shill trying to pass himself off as a news channel. And when I first started doing response videos like this, I told myself I was not going to do anything about Crapgamer. It's what he wants attention, everyone has replied to him already, everyone knows he's an idiot, and I wasn't gonna bother. But after Crackdown 3 gameplay started coming out a few days ago, and it looks terrible, I kinda knew this was coming. The Xbox Defense Force is in full form, and Crapgamer is right at the front of it. Roll the intro. No, I did not forget to start the video. He just started the video and forgot to talk. For 12 seconds. News channel, by the way.
Maybe I was expecting a little something different. I think probably I was, given the fact that, it just looked like Microsoft had turned the corner.
I think I was in the same boat as you, Crap. It's one of the only boats that we share. I also thought Microsoft was going to turn things around, especially with Crackdown 3. I'm someone who doesn't really care about the Crackdown series. I never really did. It never really grabbed me. I dabbled with the first one a bit, but it's just not a game that really grabbed me all that much. I think other games had my attention at the time that those came out. But with all the talk that was going around about how amazing the third game was going to be, how innovative it was going to be with its technology, and how many times Microsoft was delaying it to make sure it was absolutely perfect, my hopes were up. I was expecting more. I was definitely expecting more than what it looks like we're getting.
A lot of the media sites were ready to give Xbox a chance.
Media bias against Xbox is not real. Let's just get this out of the way. Xbox made shitty decisions. The media called them out for shitty decisions. That's the end of it.
And it looked like Crackdown 3 was getting some positive early previews and reviews, and now the hate is right there, and everybody's talking about the game, and there's very few positive previews, and in particular IGN really just kind of tore it up, and I was a little bit disappointed with that. And I'm not the only one. I think a lot of people were incredibly disappointed with it.
You're right, a lot of people were disappointed with it. The game, it looks awful. It looks choppy, the animations are bad, the graphics aren't very good, the textures are extremely low quality. Even for a game with this kind of art style, the textures just look garbage. We were expecting more, especially after this long of a wait. This game was announced back in 2014, by the way. It's been 5 years, man. That's crazy. That's pretty crazy to think about. 5 years in development? Yikes. And this is the best they came up with?
And I also think that there's good reason to be, right? Particularly when you have people at a professional site that have no interest in the game, that don't know how to play the game, and they're really, really just kind of ignorant on what the whole game is even about.
Wait.
I think that's very, very unfortunate, and it makes Microsoft look bad, and it makes the game look bad.
Oh, you're not talking about the game being disappointing. You're talking about the reviews being disappointing. Oh. That's a problem.
And it makes these sites look bad.
What is making a site look bad when they give an honest review of Crackdown 3, a game that's been in development for 5 years and looks like garbage? Also, I'd like to point out that at the time of recording this video, at the time of Crap recording this video, the game was not out to the public yet in any way. He has not played the game. Just keep that in mind going forward. This is all coming from a man who has not even touched the game.
People wonder why, a lot of gamers and stuff are going to YouTubers and other outlets to get, their reviews and their previews and things like this. This is the reason why.
Because people are fanboys who can't handle that something made by their favorite company wasn't very good. I mean, that's why people come to you. Either that or to laugh at you. Those are literally the only two reasons people come to your channel.
It should be pretty clear now that people are really more interested in other things. I guess it's easier to bash Xbox than it is to actually, kind of be upfront and honest.
Well, it's pretty easy to bash a company that keeps making dumb decisions. That's not really an Xbox thing. That's a kind of a universal thing. It's a lot easier to criticize things when there's a lot wrong with it. And let's be honest here, there's a lot wrong with the Xbox brand. There has been ever since the Xbox One was announced. Really, ever since Xbox started, there's been things wrong with it, but especially with the Xbox One era. Yes, the Xbox One is easy to criticize, crap. Thanks for pointing that out.
Now, it's true. Some people just might not like Crackdown 3, right? It's getting, like I said, bashed by the majority of sites. But at the same time, you know, you got to have some people that at least like the franchise or show some interest in the franchise actually go out there and give it a try.
Crap. Were you even looking at the footage of the game, or were you just listening to what was said because your opinion was already made up for you? This game looks it looks awful. It looks old. It looks like a remastered PS2 game. The animations are terrible. Look at this running animation. Look at this running animation, crap. This is the standard running animation. 5 years in development for this. People are not upset or bashing it because it's an Xbox game. People are upset and bashing it because it is clear that none of the stuff that Microsoft was promising is actually here. We were promised an amazing open world that looked great, that played great, that looked smooth with tons of stuff to do. And what we got, what it's looking like we're getting, because I haven't played the game. When I'm recording this, the game isn't out yet, but I've researched the fuck out of it. Unlike you, Microsoft promised this amazing, innovative game that they had to delay a bunch of times to get it perfect. And what we got was a repetitive, ugly, just average game. Average at best game. That's why people are upset, crap. It has nothing to do with the brand. Stop being so tribalistic.
Rather than what we're seeing right now, which is where these sites, particularly IGN, are out there sort of just bashing it willy-nilly, acting like it's just the worst thing ever, or acting like it's the same exact thing. Oh, it's just Crackdown 1.
Because it is the same exact thing? You have Crackdown 1 or 2 gameplay going on in your video, and honestly, for a second, I thought it was Crackdown 3. That's not even me trying to be hyperbolic. I can't tell which Crackdown game you're playing, and I also couldn't tell that it wasn't Crackdown 3.
Well, you know what? Kingdom Hearts 3 is just Kingdom Hearts, and Uncharted 4 is just Uncharted. And
I mean, yeah, that's going to be the case with every franchise. That's going to be the case with every franchise. But every other franchise that you named there, Uncharted and Kingdom Hearts, I have a lot of issues with Kingdom Hearts, but even I can acknowledge that the games are so quality. They're very well made. They're very smooth. They're easy for new players to pick up, and they'll keep you invested in the game even if you haven't played the others. I mean, Kingdom Hearts a little less so because Square Enix just fucking sneezes repeatedly on their scripts, and that's what they use for a story. But the game is still fun. The gameplay loop is still fun. Same with Uncharted. And I'm not really a huge fan of either of those franchises, by the way. Uncharted or Kingdom Hearts. I'm not really a fan of either of those. But I can still acknowledge that they're good games.
you know what I mean? Like, Gran Turismo Sport is just Gran Turismo. Like,
I also love that of the 3 franchises he named there, Uncharted, Kingdom Hearts, Gran Turismo. You know he was careful to pick 3 franchises that are associated with PlayStation and not Xbox, you know. People could have easily said, oh, Halo 5 is just Halo 4. Oh, Gears 4 is just Gears 3. And, you know, Crackdown 3 is just Crackdown 1 and 2. But no, we can't do that.
you can say that with any type of entity when it comes to gaming, yet it only seems like we get these types of things when it comes to gaming on Xbox.
Well, maybe that's just because Xbox games are not that good this generation. They're not that good, crap. They're really not. I love Gears of War, and I love Halo. But the Gears games and the Halo games of the Xbox One generation, they're not good. They're not good. And that's part of the reason why I left consoles to move to PC. Because this generation of gaming is just so... It's just so depressing on consoles. It's so restrictive. No, and I mean, Gears 4 is not a bad game. Halo 5 is not a bad game. But they're not very good. That's why Xbox is getting so destroyed this generation. That amongst other things. Xbox started off on the wrong foot with all the DRM policies and all the things that went on behind the scenes. along with all the tech side of things, the fact that games run like ass on the base Xbox One. Even on the Xbox One S, they don't run very well. That's what I have. Every once in a while, I'll boot up my Xbox One S to play something, and I'll just immediately think to myself, wow, how did I play on this for so long? And, you know, I think you were onto something at the beginning of this video. I honestly think you were onto something. Xbox has been turning it around the last year or two. You know, with backwards compatibility, stepping up the hardware game, with Xbox Game Pass. Microsoft's been doing some really good things on the business side. But on the games side, they still they can't seem to get it right. And you know what? And I'm willing to agree with you slightly that maybe people are a little harder on Xbox games, maybe, when it comes to quality. I'm not saying they are or they aren't. I'm saying that I'm willing to accept that there may be an argument to be made there. But, you know, you have to be able to take a step back and not only look at the competition on the PS4 and the Switch that Microsoft is competing against and charging the same money for and claiming their games are the same quality of, but you also need to give me some examples here. You've named IGN, and that's one. Because I'm absolutely willing to believe there is bias in games media. I mean, we all know there's bias in games media. There always is. But something I've noticed with your channel, Crap, is you love to throw around this term media bias. And honestly, this video where you point at IGN, that's the first video I've ever seen you point to an example. And it's not even really an example, because Crackdown 3 is not a good game. IGN describing a poorly made game as a poorly made game, that's not media bias. That's just you hearing something you didn't want to hear, and you can't handle that.
And that is a bit of a letdown, and I am pretty bummed out about that. So
keep in mind that he's saying he's bummed out and let down by the reviews, not the game itself.
I actually know that I'm not the only one that's bummed out about that there's others as well. You know, but still, it is disappointing. I am disappointed by it. I thought maybe we'd get some decent reviews and previews and stuff, and it doesn't look like we're going to get that.
Because the game is not decent. Crap. You thought you were going to get something that you were never going to get because your opinion of the game was made up before it even came out. And it's still not out, by the way. Friendly reminder, Crap has not played the game at the time that he made this video.
Very unfortunate, to say the least. But at the end of the day, you know, what can you do?
You can stop following, and you can make your own opinions. And you can stop devoting your life to a corporation, a company like Microsoft that doesn't give a fuck about you. They don't care. They're just selling you things. You have this weird complex where you can't accept anything negative about them, and I can't figure out why. You've been doing this channel for years and years now. I remember watching Rag's responses to you like 2 years ago, and you're still doing it. How do you have the energy, man?
You just kind of got to roll with the punches, and sort of that's kind of what I expect now. You know, I thought maybe the media bias and stuff was a little bit over, but it doesn't look that way. So
yes, it's hard to get over something that didn't start.
Anyway, what do you guys think? Are you guys annoyed by this?
I'm not annoyed by this. I'm only annoyed by you and people like you defending something that they haven't even touched and defending something that they haven't played. Defending something that is obviously a disappointment and was obviously being misrepresented by Microsoft. And look, I'm not just trying to bash on Microsoft fanboys. I mentioned this briefly earlier, but I had this same problem with Kingdom Hearts when Kingdom Hearts was about to come out. I almost made a video about people defending Kingdom Hearts and bashing bad reviews of KH3 before the game came out. I made a tweet or two about it because I hate when people do this. This tribalistic fanboy mentality is a serious liability in the gaming world because companies see this. They know that they can make money off of no effort. They know that people will buy the product before they even try it, just because it has a logo on it. Now, in the case of Kingdom Hearts 3 and Uncharted, like you mentioned, we were lucky enough to get quality products with those licenses. But it doesn't always happen that way, and that's what we're seeing now. Companies will put out subpar products with a popular logo on it because they know people like you will defend them and buy them anyways. This needs to stop.
Use YouTubers now instead of these sites. What's your thoughts? Let me know.
I think your channel is a joke, and I will let you know.